What deadly secrets does the planet RX-17 hide? Don't miss out on the best. Subscribe now to my YouTube channel and join this amazing community. Every week, new adventures, tips, and much more await you. Hit the subscribe button and activate the bell to stay always up to date. The spaceship Valhalla, an exploration and rescue corvette, sails through the stars toward planet RX-17. This inhospitable planet, covered in dense jungles, is known for its extreme conditions and as one of the last extraction bases of the Xylog Corporation. The Valhalla's mission is to investigate an emergency call transmitted from the Mining Operations Center. No one has had contact with the base in weeks. Captain Kael Moran, a man of few words but with an impeccable record, leads the team. Alongside him are Sera, an operations strategist with a sharp analytical mind, and Alexei Volkov, a scientist obsessed with studying alien life forms. As they approach RX-17, an unsettling green mist rises around the ship, shrouding the landscape in a murky, ghostly atmosphere. The Valhalla's sensors pick up slight interference, indications that something is affecting the systems. As the ship descends and touches down on RX-17, the crew prepares to investigate the facility. Alexei, intrigued by the possible life forms on the planet, keeps his scanner on high alert, while Sera checks her weapons, aware that something on this planet feels off. The first steps in the mining base are strange and silent. The structure appears deserted, with equipment and machinery abandoned, some still functioning. The crew moves in formation, exploring the different areas of the base. Dust accumulates on the walls, and the lights flicker intermittently, as if the base itself were resisting their presence. As they explore, they come across armored doors locked from the inside. Sera opens one of them with an emergency code, revealing a sealed chamber with stored documents and videos. Alexei plays one of the recordings, in which the Xylog Corporation scientists excitedly recount their discovery of a unique creature on RX-17, a being they describe as the ultimate hunter. In one of the recordings, a scientist mentions, almost in a whisper, that the creature exhibited advanced intelligence and seemed aware of its containment limits. However, the creature managed to break free, and in the last recording, panic is evident in the scientists' voices as they report that it had escaped. While reviewing the recordings, the team hears a distant noise, like metal scraping against the floor. Kael orders everyone to prepare, and they peer down the hallway. The tension rises, and a feeling of being watched settles over the crew. Suddenly, a blurry, almost invisible figure moves through the shadows. It's a large creature, but its movements are agile, fast, and precise. The crew fires in its direction, but the creature disappears into the darkness before they can land a single shot. When the hallway falls silent again, Kael examines the area and finds traces of fluorescent green blood on the floor. Alexei studies the blood, both fascinated and horrified. "This is no ordinary blood," he remarks, collecting a sample. Sera, worried, suggests abandoning the location, but Kael knows their mission is far from over. With a mix of curiosity and determination, they proceed deeper into the base. The team continues deeper into the facility, but they now know they are being hunted. The creature seems capable of moving along the walls and ceilings, stalking them from impossible angles. As they advance, the base cameras reveal signs of struggle, claw marks, blood, and shattered panels. Everything points to the creature having learned to move stealthily, eliminating its victims before they can even react. Kael, Sera, and Alexei move with increasing caution, but the creature is fast and elusive. It attacks one of the crew members, tearing him apart before disappearing in a flash. The crew begins to panic, and every step seems to bring them closer to the creature's trap. As the team tries to regroup after the creature's attacks, Alexei studies the blood sample in a makeshift lab within the mining base. As he analyzes its properties, he realizes something terrifying. The creature's molecular structure is adaptable, as if its biology evolves to resist threats. The stronger the attack it faces, the more powerful it becomes. Meanwhile, Sera and Kael patrol the hallways, searching for any sign of the creature. The two maintain an uncomfortable silence, both processing the loss of their teammates and the growing fear. Kael, his face hardened, tries to show calm, but Sera notices the tension in his trembling hands. Suddenly, Alexei's voice crackles over their communicators. "Kael, Sera, you need to return to the lab. I think this creature can adapt to our attacks. It doesn't just get stronger, it learns." Back in the lab, Alexei shows his companions the results of his analysis. He explains that the creature seems capable of manipulating energy and adapting to attacks, as if its cells could remember and resist any type of assault. Sera, horrified by the data, suggests abandoning the mission and returning to the Valhalla. "If this creature is as lethal as it seems, we could unintentionally bring it with us," Kael replies. However, Alexei insists that they need to destroy it before leaving RX-17. "We can't let something like this continue to exist in the universe." After an intense discussion, Kael and the team decide to set a trap. They'll use an old storage room filled with explosives, creating bait with the creature's blood to lure it in. In the center of the storage room, they place detonators and a large amount of chemical weapons designed to destroy advanced biological structures. The team splits up. Sera and Kael set up the explosives, while Alexei monitors the systems to ensure everything is ready. The tension becomes unbearable as they wait for the creature to follow the blood trail into the trap. Finally, the alien hunter appears, following the trail of its own blood. The creature slowly moves toward the storage room, but something in its behavior changes. It seems to sense the danger and stops, its eyes glowing intensely as it watches Kael and Sera in the dark. With no other choice, Kael fires at the creature, provoking it to approach. The creature charges toward him in fury, but at the last moment, Sera activates the trap, and a deafening explosion fills the storage room, releasing a cloud of chemicals and shrapnel. The creature vanishes into the smoke, and Kael and Sera, injured but alive, crawl out of the storage room. As they catch their breath, their relief turns into a whispered hope. But something tells them this isn't the end. Believing they've bought themselves some time, the team retreats to a safe area to treat their injuries. Just as they begin to recover some hope, a new distress signal appears on Alexei's scanner. This signal is different, coming from a low, deep frequency, and seems to be coming from the underground levels of the base. Intrigued, Kael decides they need to investigate. They descend to the lower levels of the mining base, a dark labyrinth of tunnels and abandoned containment chambers. The air grows denser, thick with the stench of rusted metal and aged oil. At the end of one of the tunnels, they find a sealed door, armored and protected by multiple security systems. After several attempts, Alexei decodes the security measures. Upon opening the door, they find an underground lab, where Xylog Corporation scientists conducted secret experiments. In the center of the chamber is a massive, opaque containment capsule. Suddenly, the capsule begins to emit a deep, rhythmic sound, and the lights flicker around it. Inside the capsule, a silhouette shifts. Horrified, Kael and his team watch as the container slowly opens, revealing a creature even more terrifying than the first. This new entity has skin covered in hard plates and glowing eyes, and its limbs are sharp like blades. The creature slips out of the capsule, observing them with sinister intelligence. This creature is different. It's not a hunter seeking prey, it seems designed to exterminate. The new creature studies Kael, Sera, and Alexei with a chilling coldness before lunging at them with incredible speed. The team scatters across the lab as the creature destroys scientific equipment in its path, hurling debris and sparks everywhere. Kael and Sera attempt to lead the creature toward a containment area, but their weapons barely seem to harm it. Every shot is absorbed by its armor, and each attack they launch is effortlessly dodged. Hiding behind a shattered console, Alexei desperately analyzes a way to counter its abilities. Finally, Sera manages to shut a security door between them and the creature, buying precious moments to breathe. Meanwhile, Alexei monitors the energy readings and realizes that the creature seems to be feeding on the base's power sources. If they keep using their weapons, they'll only make it stronger. Kael devises a new plan. Instead of using weapons, they'll overload the base's power core to create an explosion strong enough to destroy the entire underground complex, taking the creature with it. However, time is short, and any mistake could prove fatal. The team moves quickly to execute the plan, but the overload system requires manual activation at multiple points in the base. Kael volunteers to stay at the last activation point while Sera and Alexei attempt to return to the surface. The creature, having escaped containment, now pursues them through the dark corridors. Its steps thunder like drums, and its inhuman screeches echo in every corner. Sera and Alexei sprint down the hallways as Kael, at the last control point, initiates the final countdown for the core's overload. Finally, Sera and Alexei reach the base entrance, but Kael is left behind. The creature confronts him, blocking his exit. Knowing he has no other choice, Kael draws his weapon and prepares to face the creature in a final showdown. "It's now or never," he murmurs, as the countdown advances in the base's systems. From the base entrance, Sera and Alexei watch the smoke-filled interior and flickering lights as they feel the vibration of the overload. Finally, the explosion shakes all of RX-17, sending a wave of fire and debris across the night sky. The Valhalla, still on the surface, is rocked by the shock wave. Sera and Alexei manage to board and launch the ship into space, watching as the planet becomes a storm of destruction in the distance. Both are exhausted, physically and emotionally, but they know Kael sacrificed himself so they could live. As the Valhalla drifts away from RX-17, Sera and Alexei remain silent, processing the horrors they endured. The memory of the creatures, the lab, and Kael's sacrifice will stay with them forever. In the end, RX-17 becomes a forbidden place, a warning of the horrors unchecked ambition can unleash in the universe. Sera gazes out into space with a mixture of fear and sadness, knowing that some secrets should remain buried. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment.